place it used to be before. Why is that so? And Zynga is one of the examples that it really is no more the Facebook that it used to be. I was one of those guys who, when Zynga went public, who said, like what? Like, who believes in this being continued? I wish I was proven wrong, but actually not. Some of the problems. Spam on walls is now blocked. It's good for us users of Facebook, but it's very bad for business. I mean, business needs spam. You, if you are game developers, need some spam. Yeah, when it's overused, you get bored of it, but there was a point at which spam was the main source of people being attracted to games. Now, it's not more possible to simply spam people like that. Much more apps are available. When people heard there is money on Facebook, everyone went Facebook. Now there is a bit too much of choice there. The virality, this is a number that shows if your system still grows. If it's greater than 1, it means your game or whatever application is expanding. When it's less than 1, it means your user base and application is contracting. So for Facebook, on average, it's now 0.5. It means on average, the games there are like contracting. And apps no more grow just because of hype, virality, because of the spam, etc. So this is the problem. In 2010, getting 1 million daily active users costed like $3 million. Now it's much more and not very effective, frankly speaking. And on top of that, Facebook takes 30% of all transactions. Many people here in Silicon Valley say that this was one of the nails to the coffin of Facebook gaming. However, Apple did away with that. Android does it also, but on Facebook it simply just doesn't work like that. And Facebook is also famous of changing the rules so often that you cannot reasonably rely on their terms and conditions. And on top of that, this is actually one of the reasons I see as the most important reason. People simply got bored with Facebook games because there was really not so much attraction in them, and there was not much to do after you have checked 1 or 2 or 3 wheels, 1 or 2 or 3 other games. It simply became boring. Zynga overused the freemium model a bit, I mean being money-centric, not gameplay-centric. People realize they are being like ripped off, not that they are getting some fun for their money. But still, despite of all that I told you, despite of all those problems, there are still like almost, still over 7,500 millions of potential users. That's a huge number. And you cannot simply say, well, Facebook is collapsing, I don't do Facebook, I do my own social network. It's not like that. You still want to use Facebook. Social on mobiles is one of those topics that gains really a lot of attention in last month and years. It shows a great growth. Mobile devices have some important factors that you don't see on desktops. First, they are always on, unless your battery is dead. Second, they are always with you, unless you have forgot your phone at home. And third, they are always connected, unless you are on T-Mobile here. At least it's the experience for me. I mean, just to share one fun fact with you, I'm here in Silicon Valley. I came here from Poland, like from some of you from nowhere. And there I have LTE working for like 2 years now. The speed at my home is like 60 megabits. I got like 20 megabits broadband at home, which is actually 20 megabit all the day long, not slowing down at late nights. And I got coverage almost everywhere with 3G across all the city, with LTE in the center of the city. When I have edge, it means I must be aware of the wolves chasing me. That's one of the differences between Europe and America that actually it goes better in Europe. Okay, so the problem is for mobiles there is no common viral model. There are many viral channels but not one dominant. That might change with Facebook going mobile more seriously. We are about to see. I don't know what will happen. Facebook revealed its new Android-based platform just a couple of days ago. We'll see how it works in a few months. With PC, it was always possible, as you can see, always with you, always on, always connected. Most important task for social-based systems. First is to acquire and retain users. If you think money first, this is the first thing to do. Then stimulate user interaction, mainly asynchronous, like in the old BBS days. They really don't care much about playing real-time multiplayer. It's not this market. And then make users visit as frequently as possible to your system. Look, there is no money on this slide. Okay, and I kept it like this on purpose. I mean, those are the most important factors. Then, when you got it all right, you think about monetizing. So, about stimulating interaction, let's say you probably have seen like a lot of this type of messages for you, and they just create a new level and wants you to check it out. This will be the case in our application when your friend created a new game and wants you to check it out. But actually it's much better to offer you some bonus for checking. Why should I care about Andy's level? I don't like Andy that much. And he'll get one more play of his level. I don't want that, I want more plays. But then, if I earn 500 coins for checking it out, well, I do many things for money, I'll do that also. But, actually, some of us are still humans inside. So, what works best, and this is one tip for you, is giving both you as the person who is about to take some engagement and your friend reward. When you see that, it actually works best out of those 3 reminders to get you back into the game. So it's best if you get money, of course more money than your friend, but he also gets some. Then you see, oh, I'm earning, but oh, I'm also so good for my friend. So that's so cool. And then there is gamification. It's a word that you probably have heard for like 2 or 3 years because that's when it came out. Now, you must, in the first place, think about it like as of having an RPG role-playing game mechanisms built into your own product on every possible layer. That makes sense, of course. Everything is a game. Engaging in your community is a game also, so give your players rewards, level them up for simply being active users of your community. That's not a typical gameplay, but that's something you can turn into gameplay by giving rewards. And this is a very simple slide, but it just nails down what's about it. Give them levels to grind, so they see their progress and probably their friends' progress and they can compare, but progress is one important thing. And second, give them quests or tasks or things to do. I don't know, maybe many of you have played Jetpack Joyride. Yeah, you got those little missions that you have to accomplish, then you get stars, then you level up. I have played many, always runs on mobiles, but this was the one that I invested probably the most time into. Just because of those missions, because I felt the urge to do something, because I'll get this little star that will move me forward in my progress. But on top of that, that's one thing that we actually plan to do, is to bring community events. There was this crazy game by a creator of Katamari Damacy called Nobi Nobi Boy. It failed on in many ways. I played it, I love Katamari, I played it, and I must say it simply sucks. The one thing that I loved about the game was the fact that there was, but it was broken, but it was a great idea. There was a global community target to be achieved. You are building a long object between Earth and Moon and then beyond. And you saw the global community progress, and you saw you being part in this progress. Actually, that's something that was attempted with this game. I think the name was The Cube, or yeah, when you made those little dents in this big cube. Actually, it was another terrible execution of this idea. It was the launch was so broken that the only thing I can compare it to is SimCity. Like, really, you couldn't play it on the launch day, and on the next day, and then on the next day, and then a week later, I didn't want to play it anymore. So the idea is there because I felt the very urge of doing something together, but I couldn't execute it because of technology flaws. The challenge there is, if there is huge community and there is this huge target to be achieved, and you did almost this little bit, you don't feel progress at all. But there are some tricky ways you can trick player into seeing actually more progress than is really done, because player must see himself as being significantly better within the game. So before we go to the Q&A session, the last thing we want to show you is the trailer of our product. Later on you can have questions about both the community building, the social aspects, or our product, whatever you wish. Second. Should be some here.